And the last type of problem that we're going to do, I've got two examples of here. It's going to be one where you're told the not first term and another not first term. In this case, we're working with the 10th term and the third term. So let me write it using the proper notation. I've got that the third term is 250. I've also got that the 10th term is going to be 125 out of 64. Okay, and now we're asked to come up with the explicit formula for the nth term in the series. Now, we're going to have to do things just a little bit differently. What I'm going to say is that if I am trying to figure out how to turn the third term into the fifth term, I need to multiply it by a common ratio a certain number of times. Well, that certain number of times is going to be the difference between 3 and 10. So I'm hoping that people are able to follow that. I'm going to say, yes, I am going to have to multiply it by that common ratio 7 times here. So now I'm going to fill in my values and say that I'm looking at 125 out of 64 equals 250 times r to the 7th. Okay, people, I'm hoping are still with me on this. And hopefully it is also making sense where that 7 came from. Anyway, back to the problem at hand. Now I'm going to isolate the r to the 7th. I do that by pulling out my calculator again. And we're going to say, if I take 125 over 64, and if I divide that by 250, that's going to get me, okay, I'm looking at a rather ugly number here. Okay, let me see, try it again. Okay, let's go with 125 divided by 64, and then I need to divide that by 250. All right, and so I'm now looking at 1/128th. Now, back to the calculator. I don't want r to the 7th, I want r. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 7th root of this value. Once again, how do I do the 7th root? I'm going to take my calculator, I'm going to push the math button. And if you notice, number 5 there is what I'm looking for. So I'm going to take the 7th root, and then I'm going to have 1 over 128 there. And the easiest way to do that again is to go second answer. And so I'm now looking at my r value is just going to be 1/2. Awesome. Got that much down pat. The problem is I need to figure out, well, what do I do to find my first term? So what I'll do is this. I'll go back and I'll say, well, using the third term, I'm going to say that my first term is going to be r to the, well, it would be 3 minus 1 using the formula. So in this case, I know that a sub 3 is 250. A sub 1 we don't know. We know that r is 1/2, and 3 minus 1 is going to get me 2. And so I end up with a sub 1, 250, 1/4. So a sub 1 is going to be 1,000. And now coming up with the expression for this is going to be a sub n equals 1,000 times 1/2 to the n minus 1. Okay, cool there? Let's try one more. If you're feeling adventurous, go ahead and dive in on your own. If not, copy this down and then keep going. Let's get started. So once again, I'm going to copy down my information using my notation. A sub 9 equals 1/2. A sub 12 equals 1/16. Once again, I'm going to use that kind of modified version of your explicit formula. say that a sub 12 is going to be equal to a sub 9 times my common ratio. And again, please notice what the difference is between 9 and 12. That's how many times I'm going to need to multiply that out. So I'm going to say that that's going to be r to the third there. Oops, wrong color. And so now I am going to substitute things in. A sub 12 is 1/16. A sub 9 is a half. And r cubed. Now I multiply both sides through by 2 to get rid of the 1/2, which is going to get me 1/8 is r cubed. And then I cube root both sides. And if you actually did memorize your perfect cubes like you were asked to, you don't need to put that in your calculator. You're looking at 1/2 there. Cube root numerator, cube root denominator. And now we're going to do the same thing we did before. This time I'm going to say a sub 9, just using 9 because it's a nicest number. It's going to be the same thing as a sub 1 times r to the, well, again, it would be 9 minus 1, which is going to be 8. So I'm ready to say that a sub 9 is going to be 1/2. A sub 1, we don't know. R, we figured out, was 1/2 to the 8th power. Okay. And so I'm going to take my calculator out here, and I'm going to go parenthesis, use my fraction bar, say 1/2, and we're going to raise that to the 8th power. So I'm looking at 1/256. So here we go. A sub 1, 1/256. Okay. And then you multiply both sides through by 256, and you're going to get that we've got a sub 1 is 128. All right, now I've got all the pieces that I need. A sub n equals a sub 1, which is 128, times my r, which I remember is 1/2, n minus 1. Okay, then that is it, folks. Good luck, have fun, go get 'em.